Auction in case I press, I heard Dan Argueta, who's coming off a LFA Bantamweight title win, LFA 131. Dan, how are you, dude?
I'm good. I'm not wearing the fight on my face anymore. I'm healthier. I just got to New Mexico today. I took a little 1 week needed vacation in Florida, went fishing and ate some shark. I had a good week, and now I'm back here in New Mexico for a week, getting my buddy Joe Herr ready for his professional debut.
Yeah, no, I saw that you guys went fishing. How was that?
It's badass. I got a 130-pound tarpon, a 25-minute fight on the reel with it.
God damn.
Dude, it was worse than my actual fight. I almost quit, but I didn't want to because our captain said that a girl got 3 of them that morning. So I was like, no, not me. I'm not quitting. I almost fell in the ocean. It's one of those, it's almost like a fight. Like, I'm like, yeah, that was badass. I'll do it again in 6 months.
Right. Man, so it's been 11 days since your fight. How are you feeling?
Good. I only watched it about 3 times. I have a lot to learn. I got a lot to do. I ran into a couple boo-boos during the fight I took a massive hit because of it during the fight. I was compromised. I won't necessarily go over what they are, but I just had to dig deep, make it work, and adjust.
I mean, how do you feel about your performance, though?
Not good. Not good. I knew I was that tough already. I think a lot of people know I'm that tough. I think a lot of people know that I have the cardio to. A lot of people know I have the cardio to, continue to push through, to finish those takedowns at the end, to get punched in the face and say, I'm gonna fucking grab you. Like, I think people know that I have that. And, there's going to be a lot of eyes on my film now where people are going to be like, oh, just punch his face. He loves it. He loves getting punched in the face. And, there's going to be people thinking that, and that's what I need to fix. And I'm okay with it. That's why I said, like, I wouldn't mind another one, because there is no going back once you're in the UFC.
Diego Silva, was there anything about him that surprised you?
So, a couple things. Everyone's like, "Oh man, I was afraid you were gonna get knocked out." I didn't get rocked once. All those big hits didn't rock me. A couple of them adjusted my mouthpiece, and one of them poked me in the eye, and that's when I walked backwards. I was like, "Oh," but nothing rung my bell, and that's when I was like, "Oh, he's gonna be frustrated when I walk forward." And it's not an excuse not to keep my hands up and move my head. It's not an excuse. I still gotta work on that. I'm still new, man. I only got 8 fights, and I just went up against a guy with 3 times as many fights. I'm still learning.
Yeah, I mean, so what was the game plan? Because you didn't wrestle as much as everyone thought you would, and you were just coming forward and just throwing bombs.
The game plan was to honestly get him against the cage, take him down, to know that my gas tank was going to be better, to take him down, make him work up, see how many times he was going to stand up and just wear on him for 25 minutes, and hopefully find the finish when he's ready to give up. When he got the first takedown, I realized, okay, the film that we watched was correct. The guy knows how to win in the first 2 rounds. And I knew that the last 3 rounds had to be mine if I wanted to come out with the victory. And that's when I began to shine. So I know, I threw a naked kick in the first, and he caught it, and I knew that he was going to catch it. I freaking knew it. And he did exactly that. He got the takedown, and it felt like I had a lead blanket on me. He was 3rd-degree black belt. I took his black belt for granted. I was like, no. He's not 3rd-degree black belt. I'm a 3rd-degree black belt in wrestling. I got this. And wow, it was a wake up call. But like I said, I'm glad I made the adjustments. You know, the plan backfired because he was hard to take down against the cage until the third, fourth, and fifth. That's when I was like, you know, training in elevation. Like people were telling me, "Oh, you look tired." No shit. That dude wanted to kill me. No shit, I was tired. But you know what? He was way more tired. And, you know, training at elevation, I didn't lose my strength. He lost his strength at the 11th minute of that fight. Minute 11, he lost his strength. Minute 13 is when I realized, oh, he's dead. I still have all my power. You know, and it paid off, being able to not being afraid of getting tired.
So when the plan backfires mid-fight, or I guess, you know, the first few rounds, what was going on through your head? And when you went back to the corner, like what was being conversated?
It was so actually going into the second, when I was in the first round off my back, I was landing all the strikes. He didn't land anything. And I just heard Cub Swanson say, "Dan, you are winning this fight off your back," because he was right behind me. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. Okay, just keep it going. He's getting tired trying to hold me there. And yes, Dan? Yeah. 1999. And, you know, when he said that, I was like, okay, this is going exactly how we thought it was going to go. And I thought I just saw Cowboy Cerrone. Dude looked exactly like him. You know, we watched this film for weeks. And so we kind of prepared for that. It wasn't oh no, it was a marathon. And I learned in that fight. I literally, on the fly, I learned that this fight's going to be a long night. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough, but I was ready for that.
When you were up there and they said split decision, did you know that you won that fight?
I knew I won it. I didn't know it was a split decision. That was scary. I knew I won just because the way it ended. And watching fights in the past, judges are stupid. You know, that fight could have gone either way. That's why I'm upset with my performance, because I let it get to that, and it did not need to. You know, Cub Swanson said it perfectly in my corner. I worked too hard to screw that up.
Yeah.
You know, he said it perfectly, and it's still dawning on me to this point. That's why I haven't watched it that much, where I'm like, oh man, I'm not ready to hear about it all yet. It's brutal, but now I'm definitely like, I'm easing into it. I want to make those adjustments.
Right. But you won the title. You won the title in Wisconsin, where you went to college. How did that feel, dude?
It was cool to see all my old teammates there. They were proud of me. You know, I left the program on bad terms my final year, and I was a captain.
How come?
I just like to party. And I knew that I only get 3 options: partying, graduating, and wrestling. I only get to pick 2 of them. I picked partying and graduating. You know, and for years I blamed it on the program and the coaches, but then I realized, no, it was never that. It was me. You know, I went back this year and I actually apologized to the coaches. I said, wow, like, my bad. Like, I've been holding it in for years, but now I can finally go to them and say, I'm sorry. Like, so it was nice to get it done in front of all of them.
In hindsight, do you regret that?
Of course. course. I think I'm exactly where I need to be. Exactly where I was supposed to be. You know, I said this when I was a kid, but I gave up. You know, and that could always be different. You know, I could have just stuck it out and still ended up doing this. But then the fact that I gave up and I quit on myself hurt. And that's actually where the saying, when I say win, that's where that came from. What's important now? Win. The head coach who recruited me my freshman year, this little old man, rest in peace, Jim Cook. He told me as I was getting ready to quit the team, hey, Dan, what's important now? What do you want to do? I'm like, well, I feel like I'm done competing. I don't feel like I have it anymore. But I would just enjoy this last year and graduate. He was like, okay, well, then that's the important thing now. Now, you know, you can stop wrestling. And I did. It brought me here, but still it burns.
Gotcha. Couple of last things about this fight. How was the weight cut?
Good, smooth, a lot. It was 18 pounds, 24 hours.
Yeah. Now I know why.
You know why that was nice?
Now I know why you don't like to do fucking fight week interviews.
Dude, it was nice because obviously it's hard as fuck when you get there. But the whole camp, I'm not miserable. I'm okay being miserable for a couple of days or for just 24 hours. At least the whole camp, I'm eating how I want. I still look like I'm in shape. You know, you've seen me a week out. I'm 2 weeks out. I look like I'm about to fight that day. Imagine how miserable that would be if you cut that in half. Like if you tell me, oh, night before you're only cutting 8 pounds, imagine how little and miserable I would be towards the end of that camp.
Yeah. Fucking miserable.
Until they tell me I'm not allowed to do it, I'll keep doing it.
Dude, that is 18 pounds. It's fucking ridiculous.
At 135.
Dude, man, that's crazy. I mean, do you see yourself ever going up? Like, I guess, would you end your career at featherweight, or is bantamweight just kind of your spot?
I think I can win a world title one day at bantamweight. I do. I think that I can turn some heads at featherweight. I think I can go get in some exciting ass fights at featherweight. Imagine me with none of the hurt of the weight cut, lifting for a whole camp and just being, you know, fresh. Man, I would have a war. I think I could have some wars.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. Well, all right. You win the title. I've been screaming it. I've been screaming it at the top of the fucking mountain. I think the UFC should sign you. What do you think? What do you think about that?
I think I've done enough, but at the same time, it's almost a blessing in disguise. Maybe I go and get more experience before I get in. You know, another 25-minute fight. That's almost equivalent to having 2 more fights. You know, another belt.
I mean, maybe go up to featherweight and get the LFA featherweight belt, are you saying? Or defend your bantamweight belt?
I don't know if that's worth it. It might be. I've thought about it, but I just don't know if I've already adjusted my body to this weight class. I don't know how strong I would be at 45 right now. Like I said, it'd be a full camp, it'd be a full change, and then what? Then we tell the UFC, hey, never mind, give me another 6 months so I can make 35 and adjust again. You know, if I went 45, it'd be a short notice fight, something excited. The UFC says, hey, we need a 45er. I can do it. I can do it in a week. I can do it in 3 days.
Gotcha.
You know, but 35, it's going to be hard to take a short notice fight. But I can't say no again. I said no after my last fight. I don't know if you know that.
No.
I got the call up against Mario Batista. 4 days after my fight, and they asked me to make weight in 3 days. I was too heavy. 30 pounds. 30 pounds in 3 days. They said, don't worry about it. If the weight's an issue, it's okay. You'll have more opportunities. Just start getting ready. And we said, okay. So I'm just a short notice fight at 45. Okay. At 35, come on, man, sign me. Sign me at 35. I can make some noise if you give me a camp like everyone else. 10, 12 weeks. You'll see the best version of me every time. That would be great.
I mean, I think it's only a matter of time. Every single LFA Bantamweight title holder has gone to either the UFC or Bellator. So, I mean, what do you think? What do you think? So, just kind of playing Mystic Mac right now, Mystic Dan.
Less experience than all those guys had.
Exactly. What do you think happens next?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm done trusting. I'm done thinking I know what people are going to do. All I can do is prepare for a fight, start getting the weight down, start getting ready. That's why I'm already back in the gym. I still got stitches in my head, but I'm ready to make the adjustments. And if I get called up for a UFC fight, sweet. The adjustments will be done. If I get a title defense, sweet. I'm going to make the adjustments and I'm going to take it to someone else. I think it's hard to find me a title defense fight because I chose the guy at the top of the list in the LFA. I already did it.
What about Contender Series?
You know how I feel about TV shows. Dude. If that's the last option, cool. I'm just trying to win. I accidentally excite and impress. It's by accident. That's why I said I could use the experience, but it's by accident that I impress. I wish I could just have dominant performances. But you've seen my dominant performances. People don't care. They don't care. You care because you like me. Other people don't care. They don't care if I get a submission. That sucks, Because what happens? I win that, and then I'm on the back burner. Or I dominate someone on the ground, make it ugly and violent. Who knows? But that's why it's a tough sell to tell me to do Contender Series. But if I have to, I have to.
Gotcha. And finally, your hair's growing back. Finally, you enjoying your hair?
Bro, I'm fucking hot right now. My girl started calling me cheat again. I just gotta say, that girl, oh my gosh. She's the reason I'm growing my hair back. She's the reason I got it trimmed. She's the reason I made it to that fight, She's done so much this past couple years, man. People don't even get it, how important she is, for this journey. It forced me to grow up. It forced me to compete with myself and do things at the highest capability, just like she does for her dental school. I don't know where I'd be if I didn't have that, that push, because the person I'm with is also pushing all the time. That's why I always say I would never want to climb a mountain with anyone else. Push each other to the top, pull each other up, whatever we have to do to make it.
Powerful.
Shout out to Allie. She's the best.
Love that. I love that.
Make sure you tag her in this.
I got you, bro. I got you. Awesome. Dan, man, thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it. I hope the next time we talk, it'll be for your UFC debut. I think it's coming. If you want to plug your social media, plug any sponsors, you want to thank anybody? The floor is
yes. So my social media at Dan_the_determined. My sponsors come from Jackson Wink Academy, Cub Swanson, Bloodline Combat Sports Agency, D3 Defense, POF USA. They just gave me a sweet rifle. We're actually going to go shoot some guns tomorrow. You know what, man? Who else? DNA, Do Nothing Average. They're a group that's, trying to inspire young athletes, entrepreneurs, people from all over the place. Man, who else? Felix Canyon Ranch. Felix Canyon Ranch, it's actually like a cool historic monument where Billy the Kid used to hang out. Ruka, they've allowed me to train at their headquarters while I'm out in California. What is it? Scott Sullivan. Man, it takes an army to get me this far, man. That's why when people say, "Oh, I did it all on my own," please. It's not embarrassing to say the amount of help you got. It just means people love you. It means people want to see you succeed, and I can't wait until it's my turn to help support these fighters like a Joe Herr. This guy's making his pro debut on Uriah Faber's card. That's not his beer. That's Diori's beer. We found that, guys.
He's a random.
No, that's River Media. He does all the photography for John Jones.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I said his name. Piper Weatherford Company. Scott Boswell. I said Sullivan. Like I said, it took an army to get me here. And if there's one thing I could tell young fighters that are up and coming, build an army. Build an army, when I moved to LA, Coach Jackson, Coach Wink, and Diori and Cub, they knew about this move for over a year. I told them about 18 months before I moved, hey, I'm moving to LA. I will be traveling back and forth. Cool. I let them know, right? Worked on it. No bullshit. No, I didn't go around anyone. And now it's working for me. Now look at all the support that I have from each coast of the country. And if that's one thing I could tell these young fighters, build an army, man. Build an army that, works with you, works for you, and that you can work for. It makes the experience nicer. The halls in the School of Hard Knocks, they get a lot more enjoyable when you can be with your buddies and your coaches and your mentors all the time. That's my biggest advice to these up and coming fighters.
Love it.